beautiful September day in the Bay Area. We're on the campus of Cal as number 5 USC takes on the Bears, who haven't beaten SC since Aaron Rodgers was Cal's starting quarterback in 2003. USC has won 12 straight games, the second longest active win streak in college football behind Oklahoma. And hello, alongside Greg McElroy, I'm Dave Pasch. We'll get to Tom Luginbill in a minute. It was week 4 last year, Greg, that Sam Darnold became the starting quarterback for USC. He lost that game, but has not lost since. Now, he has been shaky at times, though, this year, but in the clutch, he's been brilliant.
Good quarterbacks are defined by talent. Great quarterbacks are defined by what they do with the game on the line. Last week against Texas, down 3 in his own zone, sees the blitz, understands that he doesn't have enough blockers to secure the protection, delivers a strike over the middle. But this play right here, unbelievable. The jump pass to Stephen Carr. No timeouts, setting up the game-tying field goal. Just so much poise on display by Sam Darnold with the game on the line. But today, Tom, he's going to be without one of his best weapons.
Well, he sure is, Greg. Ronald Jones did not make the trip, missed the trip with a quad injury and ankle injury. He's a difference maker on offense at the running back position, as well as wide receiver Stephen Mitchell playing opposite of Deontay Burnett. Going to have to come up with some other weapons. And Porter Gustin expected to be out. He is out on defense for the USC Trojans. So some guys going to have to step up on the road in the Pac-12 opener.
Cal won the toss, elected to defer, so USC will get the ball first. Cal won the toss, elected to defer, so we'll see Darnold momentarily. Velus Jones and Stephen Carr are deep. Carr is also now the starting tailback with the injury to Jones. Cal coming off the win against Ole Miss last week. They also won at North Carolina to start the season. USC had that tough game last week against Texas, ended up winning in overtime. Little wind down on the field, so they got a hold for the kicker, Gabe Shimyenitz. And we're underway from Berkeley. It'll be a touchback. Darnold and company will start on the 25. Redshirt sophomore from Capistrano Beach, California. Darnold threw for over 500 yards against Cal a year ago. Comes from an athletic family. Chris, former volleyball player in college. Dad Mike played football. They're at the game today. We'll have more on the Darnold family as we go along. There's Chris in the yellow hat, Sam's mom. We had a chance to talk to her this week. She's a phys ed teacher at the school where Darnold attended in middle school. He got 350 people in his 8th grade class. Here's Stephen Carr running the ball on first down, picks up a couple. The USC coaches say that Darnold has great vision and that he plays like a point guard for 3.
Yes.
And here you see him driving to the hoop. He's a terrific athlete. Was a letterman for 3 years. And we saw him escape the pocket several times last week against Texas and make huge plays to win that game.
Very gifted thrower and a very confident player within this scheme.
Play fake for Darnold, his first attempt. Going to take a shot down the sideline. Underthrown, and it's incomplete. Broken up by true freshman Elijah Hicks against USC's best receiver and Deontay Burnett.
Trying to get a double move shot early in the game to set the tone. Burnett almost comes down with it, but a great job by the freshman Hicks, turning his head around and making the play on the ball and setting up a 3rd and long for Sam Darnold and the Trojans offense.
Greg, this is interesting here because you talk about not having the weapons because of injury, and now you're in 3rd and long. Where do you go?
You have to think he's going to be looking in the direction Deontay Burnett, his go-to receiver.
Pressure coming. Darnold taken down for a sack. Alex Funchess. 3 and out for SC.
Just a coverage sack. You see Funchess coming off the edge, appropriately named rush defender. Nowhere for Sam Darnold to go with the football. But he put Toa Lobodon on roller skates. Nice rush and a great start for this Cal defense, who's riding high after the second half performance last week against Ole Miss.
Yeah, they held him to 16 points and shut him out in the second half. And the fair catch made by Vic Wharton at the 37-yard line. So we get our first look at Cal quarterback Ross Bowers from Bothell High School in Washington. Won a state championship, led a team to an undefeated season as a senior. It was their first high school state title. Won the starting job in camp. His folks are in attendance today. They actually moved to the Bay Area. His dad was a coach in football. His mom was a gymnastics coach at Washington. They quit their jobs, moved here to the Bay Area. They work at a local high school about 20 minutes away. Off play action. Bowers hit, and the pass is incomplete. James Madison is where John Bowers coached for 3 years. And we mentioned that Mom Joanne was the gymnastics coach for a decade up in Seattle. And in talking with Ross, we spent about 15-20 minutes with him yesterday. He says it's great. His brother's around all the time. His brother and wife are due with a child. He's going to be an uncle here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, he's excited about that. As excited as he was to play USC to be coming up.
Out in space here on second down to Patrick Laird. And he's to the 41, picking up 3 yards.
Bowers has been really fun to study over the last couple weeks. Extremely tough. Not the most physically gifted kid, but does all the little things right. He's a gritty player, understands where to go with the football. This Cal receiving core is not the fastest or the most dangerous, but he's developed a nice rapport with them early in the season.
On third down and 7, long throw for Bowers, but it's pulled in for a first down by Wharton. Knocked out of bounds inside the 40. To gain a 22.
Nice throw from Bowers right here. Ramon Marshall trying to undercut the out route. Very aggressive on the outside of the Trojans' corners.
They're going to give it to Wharton, who's looking to throw, and he fires it into the end zone. And it's almost intercepted. In fact, the receiver, Jordan Vesey, did a good job to make sure that Chris Hawkins didn't pick off the pass. Justin Wilcox, former defensive coordinator at USC, was fired by the current head coach Clay Helton when Steve Sarkisian was let go and Helton got the head job. Wilcox then spent a year at Wisconsin as the D coordinator. This is his first season, obviously, at Cal. And the last Cal coach to start a tenure 4-0 was Steve Mariucci back in 1996. Bears can do that if they can knock off SC. Laird trying to pick a hole. And he's down to the 18-yard line for 6 yards. Second full year for Clay Helton after getting the interim job when Sark was let go, and then when he was named the head coach, relieving Wilcox of his duties.
What a job he's done. Obviously, his start to the season in 2016 left a lot to be desired. Made the change at quarterback. It's been awfully pretty in Southern California ever since Sam Darnold got the keys to the car.
Bowers on third down and 5 with time to throw. The receiver fell down and it's incomplete. Still should have been caught by Jordan Duncan. Here comes the field goal team.
Drops plagued this Cal team last week. They had 5 against the Ole Miss Rebels. There's one right there. A little bit hesitant coming out of the break was Duncan. But Bowers was going to the correct place and put the ball right where it needed to be. That should have been a conversion for the Bears.
Anderson has already missed 3 field goals. This a 36-yard try. And it's good. Cal on the board first here at home. Second offensive possession for USC coming up. Fielded at the goal line by Velus Jones. And he keeps his balance. Pushed down near the 30-yard line by Deron Brown. And again, no Ronald Jones at tailback today. Stephen Carr, true freshman, but they're going to get the receivers involved in the run game. Here's Velus Jones on a jet sweep. Well defended at the 36-yard line by Cameron Bynum. A gain of a couple.
And that's what Clay Helton wants to do. He wants to establish the run game, involve some of the jet sweep action, and then hit it with Stephen Carr or Cedric Ware between the tackles. I know Darnold gets a lot of hype and attention naturally. He's one of the best quarterbacks in college football. But this Trojan offense all starts with the run game.
Pass play here on 2nd and 7. And out of the backfield is Carr. Very dangerous in space, picking up the first down past the 50-yard line, a 14-yard gain.
Stephen Carr came in as a very heralded prospect.
Oh, yeah.
And has done a great job early in his career being effective both as a runner and as a pass catcher.
Yeah, and you know what? This is the first down. He hasn't been in the game today, so they haven't been afraid to keep him in on pass protection as well.
Here's Burnett. It's a reverse, and now flea flickered, and Darnold dumping it off to Burnett. Burnett does a good job breaking a tackle, getting positive yardage, and a first down. Could have easily lost a couple.
Great play by Deontay Burnett. Well defended by Cal. Just a couple missed tackles. And we'll get into it as the game goes along. Cal's defense is so well coached. They always do what they're supposed to do within the scheme. Right there, had a couple opportunities to make a play behind the line of scrimmage. And Deontay Burnett just makes him wrong, makes him miss.
This guy's got a quick release, Sam Darnold, but he almost threw an interception on the last pass. 1st and 10 here. Darnold escapes and runs. Inside the 30, Darnold finally dragged down near the 20-yard line by Devontae Downs.
You mentioned that release, Dave, and it reminds me a little bit of Russell Wilson. He drops it down just a little bit before he uncorks all of his body weight. But I love what type of athlete he is. His pocket mobility reminds me of Tony Romo, where he escapes and still keeps his eyes downfield, but can be dynamic as a runner. It's no surprise that Tony Romo was an all-state basketball player. Darnold was a great one, too.
Darnold with time, and a big hit on Jalen Grain after the catch at the 15-yard line by Raymond Davison.
From an arm strength standpoint, he reminds me of Carson Wentz. Not the most elite arm in the NFL, but certainly elite enough. In the top 75 to 85% of all professional passers. But the ball placement and the anticipation reminds me of Phillip Rivers. He's exceptional when it comes to getting it to his guys in the right spot.
Here's a quick pitch to Ware, and they grab him at the line of scrimmage. Cameron Good coming down the line, makes the play. 3rd down and 5.
Should come as no surprise to anybody when they look at the NFL talent evaluators and they're trying to figure out who's going to be the first pick in the NFL draft. I think the conversation should certainly start with Sam Darnold. He's outstanding.
Well, the league could use NFL quarterbacks right now. They got a lot of them who aren't really NFL quarterbacks. Darnold on 3rd and 10. Another questionable decision, nearly intercepted by Cameron Good. Greg, is he not seeing guys, or is he just trying to force it in there? You're not seeing defenders?
This Cal defense makes life very difficult for you as a quarterback. You think things are going to be there in the pre-snap, and then they adjust, they change. It creates eye violations by the quarterback. So you cannot, under any circumstance, predetermine where you're going with the football. It appears as though that's what happened with Sam Darnold there, as the defender clearly undercut the out route.
So the walk-on Chase McGrath from 37 yards out hit the game winner last week and buries that one. He grew up in Newport Beach, always wanted to play at USC. Nobody recruited him, and now he's a Trojans kicker. Here's Ashton Davis taking it out of the end zone for Cal. Looking for a running lane, slipping a tackle, finding room past the 30, and up near the 40-yard line. Great return by Ashton Davis. Vic Enwary at 240 pounds sheds a tackle and picks up about 7 yards before Marvell Tell gets him down. They're actually going to give him the 49, so it's a 9-yard run for Vic Enwary. They're without Trey Watson, their top running back, and also their top receiver, Demetrius Robertson, is out. Enwary again in short yardage. And look at this again. This is the second time we've seen ball carriers for Cal pushing back Trojan defenders to get a first down.
Enwary is very physical. listed at 245 pounds, and if you see him up close, he looks heavier than that. He runs lower than you would think, too, for a guy that stands just at 6 foot. So he's a handful, and then he, of course, is spelled by Patrick Laird, who's in the game now, who's a versatile weapon, the former walk-on.
Off play action. Bowers hits Noah. They get close to 9 on that play. Not an easy throw. Matt Lopes in coverage.
Ross Bowers does a really good job adjusting his arm angle. Now this SC defense is really good when it comes to getting their hands up. You can see 2 defenders right there jumping, leaping, trying to get hands on the ball.
How do you get that ball through Cameron Smith's hands there?
I have no idea. It's a magician.
Power football again. Derek Clark, freshman, his first carry of the season, and he's close to a first down. So here we are in 3rd and 1 again for Cal's offense.
This running game is starting to get going with the Cal Bears. You see clearly trying to make it a point of emphasis early in the game, much like a little while ago when they handed it to Malik McMorris on the 3rd and 1. This could be 4-down territory for the Bears, even though they have an outstanding field goal kicker.
Right side of that offensive line, number 99, Malik McMorris. Will they throw it to him here? No, they're going to take a shot in the end zone. And it is incomplete, nearly pulled in by Warden with one hand. What the call? Take a shot on 3rd and 1 to the end zone.
It's a good effort by Warden, too, in the back of the end zone. He's become the most reliable wide receiver in the early going, and
they're going to go for this here, guys,
well,
now.
I was going to say, guys, is that why they made that last call, knowing they're going for it?
If you know that you still have every opportunity to come back out on the field and gain those 3 feet for the first.
Greg, look who's in the back. Look who's in the backfield. You got 290-pound McMorris and a 250-pound running back in Nweri.
That's a lot of body in the backfield.
They'll give it to Nweri. The hole wasn't there first, so he goes outside, and he's heading for the end zone. Pushed out just shy. They'll mark him out at the 3-yard line. How about the cut by the big guy? Taking it down the rail.
Just power football. It doesn't get much better than that. A great job out in front. Opening up a hole, and a good job by Nweri, too. So many times in a short yardage situation, those backs put their head down and they just run straight at the hole and try to use momentum to pick up the first. He was patient, saw that it wasn't there, used the jump cut, and got to the perimeter to set up 1st and goal.
Same formation, about 500 pounds in the backfield, and it's play action. Bowers, nearly intercepted. He was going for the big guy, McMorris. Got 2 catches on the year. Another tip ball at the line of scrimmage by USC.
Very disruptive. Trying to get McMorris a bone right there. Say, hey, you're going to open up some holes on 3rd down. We'll feed you one here in the red zone. Little tendency breaker for Cal's offense.
I mean, they've been pounding them. You got the 2 big guys in there. Just hand it off.
If you're going to throw it, though, usually you throw it on 1st down. So
Sure.
I'm not surprised to see that.
Yep. And Nweri dives for the end zone, and he's short. Oh, Bowers shaken up there on the handoff. He stumbled.
He got stepped on, Dave. He got stepped on coming away from center, trying to hand that ball. Very fortunate that ball didn't go on the carpet.
Good catch, Luke, down there. And that'll be the final play of the 1st quarter. Bowers will have some time to shake it off for 3rd down and goal when we start the 2nd quarter. USC 3, Cal 3. We'll be back after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Here's Cal on 3rd and goal from the 1. They got the heavy package in there. Here's the big guy at 300 pounds. McMorris did not make it. 4th down. Well, you went earlier on this drive. You go again.
I do. I don't like the play call here, though. I know McMorris had success on 3rd down in the field a little bit earlier, but with what USC has been doing these last few plays, they've been pinching towards the center. which doesn't allow the big 300-pounder any momentum as he moves towards the goal line.
So they spread it out here on 4th down and goal. Hand it off to Nweri, and he is in. Touchdown, Cal.
Great play call by Bo Baldwin. USC selling out, but spreading them out, needing only a yard. Vic Nweri finds Hader. Like going with the zone read concept that close to the goal line, because if you're back as a running back at 5 yards, you can create so much surge and momentum to carry defenders into the goal line. Great execution.
Snap a little high, but the point after is good. After a 12-play, 60-yard drive, they ran it 10 times on that drive. They pick up 4th down twice, including on the touchdown. A lot of stars on display. Cal great, Hall of Famer Tony Gonzalez, Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott. And also covering the game, Ron Burgundy from the Channel 4 News team in San Diego. He'll have the post-game show.
I am Ron Burgundy. Who put a question mark in the teleprompter?
Greg almost killed a guy with a trident.
Come on, Brick.
Bayless Jones on the return for SC. Slammed down at the 26-yard line.
Sam Darnold hasn't been able to get in much of a rhythm because of the pressure applied by this Cal defense. Let's see if they can continue.
He's been so good, though, at bouncing back off play action. Going to dump it off to the tight end, Tyler Petit. And he has a first down. And USC running the ball here. Stephen Carr, another first down. Again, Carr filling in for the injured Ronald Jones, who did not make the trip. Carr with over 200 rushing yards on the season coming into today.
Tell you, Dave, Stephen Carr, he was the 30th ranked overall player in the ESPN 300 a year ago, a 3rd ranked running back. They need him big time today.
They're calling his number again. And he gets walloped by Devontae Downs, the reigning Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week, after a pickup of 4.
It's one of the most dynamic runners you're going to find. Without the services of Ronald Jones, more of that load is going to be on his shoulders. And Greg, you've talked about the different pressure looks, simulated pressures from Cal that's created some problems in pass protection. If they can set up the run, it's going to ease up some throwing lanes for Sam Darnold.
They're going to throw it to Carr here. Great blocking, and Carr is inside the 35-yard line.
That right there is a pass, and it'll go down under Sam Darnold's box score. But this is an extended handoff, just trying to get a sweep play, essentially. That's student body left, if you will, with blockers out in front. A nice call from T. Martin, the offensive coordinator, to get Carr involved on the perimeter.
Well, Carr not sure where to line up on this play. Off play action, Darnold throws. Trying for Petit, but there was pressure in his face. Cameron Good in the backfield. So it's 2nd and 10.
With these pressures, Tom, that Cal brings, a way to neutralize those pressures is the run game and misdirection. You see so far on this drive for USC, you see some nakeds, you see some boots, you see some stretches, and you see some perimeter runs by way of the pass.
Darnold over the middle in traffic, but it's pulled in for the first down by Tyler Vaughns, who had 4 catches against Texas last week. And they pick up 11 there.
Good job by Sam Darnold, keeping his eyes downfield. You see that receiver, Vaughns, he's not open for very long. Sam Darnold, not the quickest release, but you see the force that it comes out of his hand with right on the intended receiver.
L.A. Payby able to break a tackle. Runs out of play at the 16-yard line, so a 4-yard run chased out by Tony McCary, the nose guard for Cal.
This is exactly the way Cal wants this game to be played. Don't give up explosive plays. Make SC earn every single inch. Next thing you know, the clock's running down and you're in the game. This is how this game has to be played for Cal to have a chance here.
Darnold dumping it off to Petit again. He's inside the 5. Hit the pylon. Touchdown. First score of the year for Tyler Petit.
There's that misdirection, Greg.
That was what that entire drive was about. Let's see if Petit did in fact break the plane, and you could see he's up right there. The nose of the football is inside the pylon. Clearly a touchdown for the Trojans. A great answering drive from this USC offense, employing some of their nakeds, their bootlegs, their run game, and getting Sam Darnold back in rhythm.
And we are tied at 10. Quick scoring drive. 8 plays, 74 yards, 2 minutes, 11 seconds. And Sam Darnold with his 8th touchdown pass of the season. We're all even at 10 apiece here in Berkeley. They got a short week. The Trojans will play Friday night at Washington State on ESPN. Great response as Darnold showed that competitive fire he's known for. In 2 minutes, USC ties the game after going down by 7. That's a bad kickoff, though, goes out of bounds, so it's a penalty.
But Ross Bowers, too, he is extremely competitive. From Washington, very successful as a high school player. And he wants to answer the drive that Darnold just put together.
Layered off the left side, dropped by Tell. Well, Bowers, like Darnold, comes from a family of teachers. We showed you earlier, his dad, a former football coach, mom, a gymnastics coach. They left their jobs to move here to be around Ross. And the thing you see about Bowers, we saw it so much in other games he's played, he'll get walloped and it doesn't matter. He gets right back up.
It's amazing. I mean, he really impressed me this week. Of course, I'd watched Darnold, studied Darnold all off season, but didn't watch a ton of Ross Bowers up until this week. And man, he hangs in there and delivers strikes over and over and over again to give his receivers chances. Let's see what he does against pressure right here from SC.
Out of an empty set on 2nd and 10. Wharton makes a nice catch on a pass a little behind him. Spun down at the 49-yard line, so a gain of about 3. There's Bowers as an assistant coach at James Madison. And Joanne, for a decade, the gymnastics coach at Washington. Ross told us, I know what coaches want because I grew up around coaching. And Justin Wilcox and his staff confirmed that, said he's great to coach. And he's a leader. Guys follow him. Bowers on 3rd and 7. And he gets sacked. The ball may have come out. It did. And USC recovers. Cameron Smith has it for the Trojans. Christian Rector knocked it out. 2nd turnover by the Bears.
Christian Rector, that's a mismatch every single day. You have a defensive end, the number 89 Rector, going against Patrick Laird, the 6', 200-pound running back. You can't have matchups like that in protection. Bowers thinks he's protected. However, USC had a massive advantage in size and in strength that results in a big turnover for the Trojans defense.
I've never understood that, Greg, ever. I've never understood small on big in pass protection.
Ware running right, finds a lane down to the 25, another 11 yards. We saw Darnold throw it down the field a little bit early, but nothing since, and they haven't had to. They're getting so much on 1st down run of the ball, doing those little swing passes.
Yeah, starting to really establish themselves at the line of scrimmage. That time doing one of their best plays, a little outside zone with some pullers out in front, nothing but green grass for the tailback, and picking up another 1st down.
From the Cal 25, inside 6 minutes to go in the half. Now Darnold takes a shot, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Drayden. He felt like he had to come out. Don't know if his momentum would have taken him in, but he takes it back to the 13-yard line. Darnold has almost thrown 3 picks. One of them was to Drayden in the 1st quarter where he dropped the ball. This time he hung on. 7th interception thrown by Darnold this season.
Just a force by Sam Darnold. Well covered by Drayden as he shakes his head. Very disappointed. Let's take a look at today's all-hands-in play, brought to you by Allstate. Just a corner fire off the right-hand side. Darnold thinks he has one-on-one on the seam route up the chute, and he throws it just a little bit too low. Tries to anticipate, thinks that Burnett is going to win, but a great job by Drayden, turning his head around, knowing that the receiver is going vertical and making the play on the football.
Here's Vic and Wary running the ball on 1st and 10, and powers his way to the 15, picking up 2. Darnold had completed 6 straight passes before that interception. You see the reaction from the folks. In the red zone, 7th interception by Darnold. He threw 9 all of last year. See that losing streak for Cal against SC.
Sometimes if you watch him over the first few games and then early here today, he's trying to win the Heisman on every throw. But when he stays within his lane and stays within the offense like he did on the last scoring drive, he's still so difficult to defend. Just has to quit forcing the issue.
Bowers almost picked off by Nuoso, who has broken up 8 passes this season. He's an outside linebacker.
It feels like 100. I mean, you look at him, he knows it's a quick game, so he just understands that he's not going to get home to sack the quarterback or to affect the quarterback. Therefore, he holds up, drops back, reads the quarterback's eyes, and gets a hand on the football. That's so frustrating on a quarterback, and it's so difficult to throw around defenders like that on a consistent basis.
See if SC brings pressure here on 3rd down and long. Nope, they'll just rush 4. Bowers clutching, rolling out, lobbing it, and throwing it away. So Cal's going to have to punt the ball, but at least they were able to keep SC from scoring as we hit the 5-minute mark here in the first half.
Another great job by this USC defense. Their offense turning it over. Last time the Trojans turned it over, 3 and out forced by the Trojan defense. Same thing this time around. Excellent job responding to the adversity that their offense put on.
Klump has to punt from his 1. Ajane Harris is deep. And it's a short punt. Fair catch made right at midfield by Harris. Darnold delivers on 3rd down and 8. A first down catch at the 35-yard line by Tyler Vaughn. So they pick up 3rd and long and get 14.
See the pressure by Cal. Sam Darnold hangs in there, anticipates the throw, and delivers a strike. Great job putting his foot in the ground, as there was a little leakage up front, and throwing the ball accurately for the big conversion.
Darnold rolls right, and another dump off to the tight end. Eric Homenhook making the catch.
Now, one thing that can't go unnoticed here, guys, is the short memory that Sam Darnold has. He gets over a mistake. He gets over a turnover and understands that you can only control the next play. His answer when things don't go the way they should, I think, is exceptional, and it has been through the first 3 weeks of this season.
2nd and 4. Darnold, pitch and catch. And a first down as Vaughn's kept his feet. Nope, they say he's down at the 22, so it's a 6-yard pickup. And a first down as we hit the 3-minute mark. SC with a couple of timeouts left. Cal has 2 as well.
It's important to reference, too, Tom. I mean, he lost 2 outstanding wide receivers.
Oh, yeah.
In last year's draft class. One of the best in Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's still trying to develop that rapport with all the guys not named Deontay Burnett.
Darnold in trouble, gets hit as he looked like he was just throwing that away. We saw him do that late in the Texas game last week when they were driving to tie the game. There was pressure up the middle, and he got rid of it quickly, but made sure that he threw it near a receiver so there wouldn't be grounding.
Because, Greg, you talk about, some of these guys that he's trying to gel with right now. That's not easy to do. Take some time.
Now Apai is in it running back here on 2nd down and 10. At the Cal 22, Darnold to throw. Darnold too high, tried for Petit. Let's go to Cassidy.
Thanks, Dave. Miami playing in their first game since September 2nd due to Hurricane Irma, and they were taking on Toledo. Logan Woodside to a wide-open John Vay Johnson. The Rockets up 13-10 on the Canes. Dave, Greg, back to you.
How about that one? We also need to get Cassidy's thoughts on the Mello trade. Mello to Oklahoma City reportedly. No thoughts, Matt? You're going to leave that one?
We'll get to it. I can promise you.
Darnold. Here's Carr on 3rd and 10. Turns it upfield, but is short of the line to gain. It'll be 4th and 4. You would imagine SC will bring on the field goal team. Here comes Chase McGrath.
I think you have to come away with points. And, of course, Cal so far has been pretty solid in the red zone with what they're doing, mixing looks and making life difficult on the quarterback. So understandable if they'd go for the 3 here.
So impressed with Cal. This coaching staff, this group, looks entirely different than anything we've seen the last couple coaching staffs here. And from 34 yards, the walk-on sneaks it in. He's made 4 in a row. After missing his first one last week against Texas, he had never kicked a field goal before last week. The true freshman walk-on. So SC leads at 13-10. Cal will have 2 timeouts remaining and 2 minutes. Be a touchback, and the Bears will start at the 25-yard line. Here's 3rd and 2 for Bowers. He'll throw, and it's pulled in by Vic Wharton for a first down. Into SC territory, and then the ball stripped, and it's scooped up by USC. Jack Jones has it for the Trojans. Jones still running, and finally down at the 26. Big mistake by Wharton. He was in USC territory, just couldn't hang on to the ball. 3rd turnover by the Bears.
What a great play in the open field. And let's see, is that knee down? As Marshall went for the strip.
I think his knee's down, guys.
It was very close.
Very close.
Doesn't matter what we think.
That's right.
Right? Because ruling on the field is a fumble.
He stepped up in his place.
The California receiver caught the pass, then his knee hit the ground before the fumble. It's California's ball, 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line. Game timer, please reset the clock to 1:03. 1:03.
Allie and Victor Forth happy. At least Allie is Victor's not sure what's going on, but enjoying the view here in Berkeley. There are a lot of interesting things to see here in Berkeley for a child or an adult for that matter. 5 catches, 68 yards for Wharton. There are 2 timeouts left. Minute 3 on the clock. Down 3. Late first half. Laird straight ahead. Boy, it looked like he was going to have a big running lane, but that hole closed as Rasheem Green made the hit.
And a good job by Cameron Smith, too. Filling that hole and shedding the block. I thought for sure there was going to be some room.
2nd and 7. Bowers from an empty set. In trouble. Look out. Just throws it away. There was a receiver over there. He didn't appear to be outside the pocket as Rasheem Green got there. Defensively, the ball got back, though, through the neutral zone. Should be a legal play.
Incomplete pass.
And it's illegal because Patrick Laird did a great job coming back to try to save his quarterback's life. Look at number 28. Runs in the direction of the football and then holds his hand up so the officials can see. Smart play by the former walk-on running back.
Bowers going deep. Noah, what a catch. Off the shoulder of Marvell Tell. Noah just picked it 25 yards. And Cal going to get up there and either snap it or spike it. They're going to save their timeout. And they'll spike it at the 13-yard line. 39 seconds to go.
Last week when they needed a play made on 3rd down, they went right to Kanawai Noah, the Hawaiian, going up aerial and making a tremendous play over Marvell Tell. Really nice catch. And an excellent throw by Ross Bowers up the seam.
But Greg, why waste it down? There's 40 seconds left. Why do you go up and spike it? Just snap it and run a play.
Especially in college when the clock is stopped. You have plenty of time. You're already in field goal range. You're likely not going to run the football anyways. Doesn't make much sense to waste a play there.
Bowers in trouble again. Finds no inside the 5. Close to the first down. He appears to have it. Clock will stop. Caught by Noah, who had a career day against Ole Miss with a couple of big catches here. Cal is ready to snap it on 1st and goal. An official timeout. Although Clay Helt was running down, they may have called timeout.
USC, the second charge timeout of the half. This will be a 30-second timeout.
So they will talk about it. Meanwhile, Cal with a 3rd and 1, so they did not get the first down. 3rd and 1. And they're going to run the ball, and Wary almost fumbled it. He had trouble gathering it. Josh Fatu made the hit. He's definitely short. It's 4th down. I mean, you got to get points here. Although they did go for it 4th down and won twice on their opening drive.
Getting the ball coming out of 3rd quarter, you got to kick the field goal.
I agree.
Have to.
Take points.
Justin Wilcox over there. He's going to call timeout right here.
Yeah, so if you're taking the clock down, you're obviously kicking the field goal.
Correct.
Because if you take it down to 2 and you get it on 4th down, okay, well, the half's over. So obviously they're going for 3. Matt Anderson has missed 3 times. They did make a 36-yard field goal earlier in this game. Matt Anderson ends the half with a 21-yard field goal to tie the game at 13. A lot of turnovers by both teams in that first half. Not the best execution, but we're all even, and the Bears will take that against the number 5 team in the country, a team they haven't knocked off since '03. In fact, Cal is 1 in 23 in its last 24 matchups with the Trojans. Let's check in with Tom.
Well, Coach, you've created a turnover. You haven't given up explosive plays on defense. Assess the performance of your team in this first half.
Well, I think there's a good thing. I think they're competing really hard. We got to do a better job on defense, setting the edges and tackling. Obviously, some really talented athletes they got, so we got to do a better job tackling. Offensively, just got to stay in rhythm. We've put together some nice drives. Just need to be a little bit more consistent there.
How can you create some more explosive plays on offense, try and get the ball back downfield?
Well, you just pick and choosing your spots, and then at the same time taking what they give you and working our way. We've done a nice job putting together some drives. Just got to do it more consistently.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Halftime score here in Berkeley. Cal 13, USC 13. Coming up is the State Farm Halftime Report with Kevin Agani, Matt Brown, Booger McFarland right after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. This is the Pac-12, brought to you by ESPN on ABC. From the Bay Area, Berkeley, California, the 3-0 Cal Bears, the 3-0 and 5th-ranked USC Trojans. We're tied at 13 as we get ready for the second half. First half stats brought to you by Dell Small Business. Pretty even, each team with a pair of turnovers. Cal really ran the ball well. Darnold threw for $157. He had an interception. He also had 2 more passes that were dropped by Cal defenders. He did have a touchdown pass on a dump off to Tyler Petit. Cal will get the ball to start the second half. USC with the nation's second longest active win streak, 12 in a row going back to Darnold's first start, week 4 of last year. Oklahoma's won 13 straight games. The only team with a longer active win streak in the country. Here's Ashton Davis past the 20-yard line. Bounces off defenders and pinballs forward to the 28. Let's take a look at our Pacific Life game summary.
Sam Darnold's had his moments. He's been very efficient on throws under 15 yards. Very accurate. But he has forced the ball down the field a couple times. This one resulting in a big interception. And Cal has been very gritty, both on defense and on offense, making some plays. Certainly hasn't been perfect, But they've been playing hard and deserve to be in this football game.
Here's Zion Eccles with his first attempt of the game, and he picks up about 6 yards to the 36-yard line. Dave Pasch, Craig McElroy, and Tom Luginbill. All right, Mac, what do you expect from USC here offensively in the second half?
Still trying to establish that run game. They did have a few drives where they were exceptional, and they resulted in points. Get the ball to Stephen Carr. Get the ball to Cedric Ware, and then use play action and misdirection to get Sam Darnold involved in the passing game.
Patrick Laird has the first down for Cal. Keep in mind for USC, a bunch of injuries on defense and on offense without one of their top receivers, Stephen Mitchell, and starting tailback Ronald Jones. But let's not totally dismiss Cal. The Bears have looked very good today, extremely well coached, played very hard on defense, and Ross Bowers played a solid game at quarterback for Cal.
Outside of the one deflected interception, he's been ice water.
He'll throw here, and it's pulled in at the 45-yard line by Jordan Duncan. He's dumped there by Matt Lopes. 5-yard pickup.
No, you always hear that phrase, most games are lost, not won. I mean, that explains how Cal's gotten to this point. They don't make catastrophic errors. They don't beat themselves. They play within themselves, and they are extremely talented when it comes to adhering to the principles of the offense, defense, and kicking game.
There's 2nd and 5. Trying to find a running lane. It's not there. A little extracurricular to the play there, but nice job by Cameron Smith and John Hughes to track down the ball carrier Laird. So minimal gain. 3rd down coming up here for Cal. It's a big 3rd down, right? I mean, you come out of the tunnel, you have possession. Even if you only get a couple first downs and punt, you can flip the field.
Absolutely. They've already done a decent job with their field position right here. They can certainly pin USC deep.
They brought 5 there, and the pass is caught by Noah right at the line to gain. Marvell Tell made the tackle. Where are they going to spot it? Kadavai Noah made some big catches at the end of the first half. Here he looks just short, and it's 4th down. Got to measure, right?
At least buy some time to give you a chance to think it over.
They're going to run big Malik McMorris out. The fullback, H-back, which all signs would point to them going for it again on 4th down. They haven't been afraid to go for it. Went for it a few times in the first half and a few times last week.
Here's Laird getting a first down. They're 3 of 3 on 4th down today against this SC defense. Again, I was just surprised there was no measurement, but Cal didn't care. They just went up there, snapped the ball, ran their offense, and got the first down.
Big conversion right there, obviously. And Cal, I've really liked what they've done with their offensive identity, trying to establish the run, but still using some of that quick game that they've used in the first few games. Haven't had much explosiveness, though. They have to find some big chunks in the passing game at some point.
Trying to cut it back is Eccles, and he can't get back to the line of scrimmage. Cameron Smith on the stop.
Greg, you talk about explosive plays. It's very clear just in a few snaps here that Zion Eccles, number 4 for Cal, brings a different element than Laird and Wary. I mean, he is quick. He's explosive. They got to keep him on the field, try and get some more plays out of him and get him in space.
No doubt, Tom. Maybe finding him as an option in the passing game, too, on the perimeter. That could be very beneficial. Without Demetrius Robertson, this offense misses that deep threat. They got to find it somewhere.
They motion Laird out of the backfield. They throw it the other way, and Wharton up high makes the catch near the 30-yard line. They've thrown at him 10 times this game, and the transfer from Tennessee gets 18.
Very impressed by the route right here. Look at Wharton on the corner route. Very soft coverage from USC, which is not something that you always see. They're very aggressive in the secondary. That time, giving up too much room in the big completion.
Play fake, and then the pass off the mark intended for Noah. Thought that he was interfered with by Marvell Tell. Ross Bowers continues to make the right decisions, though, on those big plays like the last one to Vic Wharton. Bowers in his 3rd offense in 3 years. When he got here, Jared Goff was a quarterback, and last year was the backup to Davis Webb, who was a decent player. He won the job. There were 4 guys trying to get the job this offseason at quarterback. Bowers won it, and boy, the coaches are glad they made that decision. Here's Derek Clark. No running room. dropped after a gain of 1 by John Houston. So a 3rd and long coming up here.
You can see some of those pass rushers going on the field for USC. This is a spot where you could potentially think about going for it on 4th down. So you might not get all of it right here if you're Cal, but you have to assume that USC is going to come after him with one of their pressure packages.
Bowers, long throw to the sideline, and going down to make the 1st down catch is Jordan Vesey. 16 yards. They pick up another 3rd down and long.
Did he catch the football? Yes, he did. Man, that's a long throw from Ross Bowers.
Took everything he had, Greg.
I tell you what,
it was dying
it
at
got
the end.
there, but it was there by the hair of his chinny chin chin. That was a heave. I'm still surprised SC isn't forcing the issue with some blitzes.
And rush 4 again. Bowers, and going to the end zone. Laird! Oh, he couldn't make the play. Incomplete. The wheel route. It was there. Cameron Smith in coverage. Great throw.
Really good throw. This should have been a touchdown. Oh my goodness, right in the breadbasket.
He lost it in the sun, Greg. I'm standing on the sideline. I'm looking up in the exact same angle he was.
Yeah.
Looking dead into the sun. I know that's a overused cliche and excuse, but he was looking directly into it.
Yeah, if you look at the shadows of the players, you can tell that as you're moving right to left, you can see those shadows are right to that corner of the end zone where he dropped it. So good eye, Luke's.
And Wary try to power it here and get a couple of yards. So it brings up another 3rd and long. And they've had a couple drops and big plays in the passing game this year. They still have managed to win. I mean, some teams, when you're playing an Ole Miss or you're playing a USC and you don't hit that big play, you don't have anything else. But we've seen Cal, not just in those games, but today they make a mistake and they bounce back and come up with a big play. 14 play of this drive.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, man, they just get the job done. Very well executed team in situational assignments like this.
Here comes the blitz by SC. Pass to the end zone. There was contact, but no flag. It was intended for Gavin Reinwald, and he had Matt Lopes in coverage, so it's 4th down. It will be about a 30-yard field goal from here. There was the pressure, though, from Clancy Pendergast.
Yeah, finally, we haven't seen it. They've opted to drop back in coverage on multiple occasions. Finally, that time they forced the ball out of Bauer's hands, and it was well covered in the back end. Nowhere to go with the football. Matt Lopes cut off. Reinwald on the post.
And Anderson, did it go in? Nope, it didn't. Wide to the left, that tough angle. You could see it initially, then it started to hook. But it's no good. A missed 29-yard field goal by Matt Anderson after an excellent drive to start the 3rd quarter. No points for Cal. They run Carr, and he almost gets the 1st down. Gain of 9.
Now, some of the pressure packages, call them simulated pressure packages from Cal. You see the 2-down defensive linemen, but then you got to identify who's going to rush and where are they coming from. In this instance, you see the nickel linebacker off the edge. That's Devontae Downs. But they're trying to give you a look of whether it's a 3, 4, or 5-man pressure. Where are they coming from is what creates the issue.
8 yards there on 1st down for Stephen Carr, Tom, and they're going to give it to Carr again, and he has the 1st down. The true freshman out to the 38-yard line. Again, it seemed like that opening drive, they're throwing it down the field a lot. Now it's just very simple.
This is what they need to do. Look, Sam Darnold is an elite quarterback, as good as you'll find in college football. Clay Helton, great mind offensively, quarterback coach. That's his background. But this offense, it goes with the run game. That's where it all starts, and their best performances have been built on the backs that they have coming out of the backfield. That's where I expect them to start his 2nd half.
Play fake, Darnold throws, and it's caught by Burnett for a 1st down. So a missed field goal from 29 yards by Cal, and just like that, USC has marched back into Bear territory.
This is such a good throw. On the RPO, just has a slant tagged on the backside. He sees Funchess drop out into the throwing lane. He adjusts his arm, throws it right around him, leads Burnett right on the spot.
Darnold looking, airing it out, single coverage, and the pass is caught but out of bounds. Tyler Vaughn's unable to get a foot down. 2nd and 10.
It's just what you want if you're offensive coordinator T. Martin. Cal brought the corner blitz off the right-hand side, which left Vaughns one-on-one with a safety. Take that matchup every single day if you're USC. Darnold just throws it out of bounds. Can't do it with an open receiver streaking.
He'll throw again on 2nd down over the middle. Burnett on the grab, but he's spun to the ground by Allensworth at the 39. So a 6-yard gain. 3rd and 4. Huge play here again for the Bears defense. Can they get Darnold off the field?
They dropped back in coverage a couple times, but you have to think their bread and butter is bringing pressure. I think they're going to rush 4 here to try to throw off the rhythm that Sam Darnold's playing with.
And where will they come from, Greg? That's been the key to this defense all season long, is creating that indecision of who's who.
Malapei in the backfield, 3rd down and 4. And they're going to run Malapei, and he gets the first down to the 30-yard line. The freshman from Hawaii, just 12 carries all season coming into today.
Great call right here. You look, you only have 3 defenders on the left side of the center. You have 3 blockers moving that direction. Nothing but green grass in front. And they pick up another big conversion.
Final seconds of the 3rd quarter. Again, Ronald Jones, starting tailback, injured, not here. So it's been Stephen Carr, Aka Cedric Ware, and Vavai Malapei splitting carries at running back. So when we start the 4th quarter, SC will have a new set of downs at the Cal 30-yard line. Back after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. You're watching college football on ABC, presented by Walmart. Cal and USC both unbeaten, tied at 13 as we start the 4th quarter. USC came from behind to beat Texas last week. They trailed in this game, but now tied, and Darnold taking a shot in the end zone. Burnett knocked away at the last second, incomplete. Quinn Tartable and Travion back, able to keep Burnett from 6 points.
Tried to go back to the well with the same route concept that got intercepted earlier in the game. This time, Sam Darnold delivers a strike. Perfectly thrown ball, just a great defensive play to break up the pass.
Malapei in the game at running back. He'll get it. Able to get outside. Malapei finally tackled by Downs after a pickup of 2 or 3. There's a 3rd and long here. Again, Sam Darnold has been at his best. The game's on the line. Team driving. 4th quarter, as good as any quarterback since he became starter week 4. When the moment's big, he's made the big play.
That's what separates the good ones. Talent defines you as good, but the great ones are defined by what they do in crunch time.
He's 5 of 7 on 3rd down. He's going to get hit here, but he escapes. Now Darnold throws to the end zone for Burnett. Just out of reach, incomplete. And he had him. Alex Funchess was in the backfield, and Darnold just off the mark. 4th down.
A good job by Funchess. 7-man protection for USC, and only a 3-man rush from Cal. You should never give up pressure when you're only having 3 guys coming and you have 4 additional blockers. Darnold does a good job improvising, but just overshoots the intended receiver.
Not a gimme. True freshman walk-on Chase McGrath, 46-yard attempt. And man, this kid has been money. He had never kicked a field goal at SC until last week. He missed his first one. He's made every one since, and that's the longest of his young career. Cal has given up 9 fourth quarter points, including the 3 by USC just a moment ago, but they still have not surrendered a touchdown in the 4th quarter. From the goal line, here's Ashton Davis for the Bears. And he's in trouble. Flag down, and Davis tackled at the 20. So Cal missed a field goal after a great opening 3rd quarter drive. And then they went for it on 4th and 4 in USC territory. and did not pick it up. And that's when USC was able to get about 30 yards and take the lead.
Still okay with them going for it on 4th down. That's been their game plan coming into today. They've gone for it on multiple occasions, always successful up until that last one. But this is a team that's seen adversity before, as you can see. Seeing it again here in the 4th quarter.
Bowers hit, the ball comes out, it's intercepted by SC. Picked off by Nwosu out of the air, and the Trojans will take over inside the 5. Josh Fatu has done it twice now, chopping the quarterback's arm.
And that ball is clearly coming out.
And either way, it's an interception or a fumble. It was caught out of the air, so it's going to be SC ball.
SC ball all the way. And Uchenna Nwosu on the receiving end. So many times he's made the big play for this Trojan defense over the first 3 games. He comes up big again, but he better go hug Fatu and tell him, thank you, my friend. I really appreciate it. Well done by the defensive tackle, getting the pressure and forcing the fumble.
Goes down as a forced fumble, and you talked about Cal facing adversity. No greater adversity this season than right here, with USC leading by 3 and a 1st and goal on the 3-yard line. It'll be Carr, and he is crunched at the 1-yard line by Downs. 2nd and goal. Another turnover by Cal. We talked about it earlier. They've been winning games by taking it away from the opponent. They've given it away 3 times in this game. And again, no touchdowns given up in the 4th quarter by Cal. 2nd and goal for SC from the 2. That's Burnett in motion. They'll hand it off, and trying to power to the goal line is Carr. He's in. Touchdown, SC. The true freshman filling in for the injured Ronald Jones, getting the bulk of the work, and he gets the touchdown, his 3rd this season.
Let's see if he gets in. Leverage. The low man wins. Look and see.
Well, when was he down? Was he down prior? I mean, clearly he's over there, Greg, but did the knee touchdown a little bit earlier?
Tell you what, though, you got to love that power and leg drive by the young pup. I mean, he's getting the tough yardage.
Great power. Great job of capitalizing by USC.
So that mistake comes right off that package we showed you of the Cal mistakes here in the 2nd half. They make another one, turning it over inside their 5. USC punches it in and now has a 10-point lead on the road in the 4th quarter. Well, USC lived dangerously last week against Texas and survived. And for a while, it was not looking good here against Cal, but 10 points in the last couple of minutes for USC, including that touchdown following the Cal turnover inside the 5. And now the Trojans in command. Still a lot of time. I mean, Cal has been resilient this year, but it's maybe asking too much for Ross Bowers to do it again.
Plenty of time, though. If you're Ross Bowers, understand, stay within the offense, make good, sound decisions, take 5 or 6 yards a pop, be able to get right back in this game.
And that goes into the end zone, so it's a touchback. It will come out to the 25. Well, I guess that's what it was. Bowers rolling out, stepping up, the ball's hit again, and it's incomplete. I don't know, Cassidy, if we're going to see a top 5 team upset here. What about in Iowa City? Top 5 team go down there. Bowers, pump fake. Now coming the other way. Now going downtown into double coverage, and an easy interception by Ross at the 30-yard line. Ross bringing it back. Still going. Ross to the 35 of Cal. Another SC takeaway.
Like we just talked about, Ross Bowers, no need to press the panic button. Just take it 5, 6, 7 yards at a time. Don't try to make it all back on one play. He gets greedy throws it up into double coverage. And that was about the easiest interception you'll ever see by Keely Ross. Disappointing start to the fourth quarter for the Cal Bears, who had a lot of momentum coming into this game with the way they've played in the second half. It hasn't materialized, though, against one of the top teams in the country in USC.
Their defense is tired. They've been on the field the last few minutes and can't allow more than 3 here. Darnold with a quick toss to Deontay Burnett. And that's well defended by Cal. Maybe a yard gain. Raymond Davison out there in space.
Tell you guys, when you're playing above your ability level like Cal has all year long, a few things have to happen. Number one, you've got to try and keep the game within a single score. That's gotten away from them. You can't turn the football over. They've done that now multiple times. And then you need a couple of breaks, and they haven't gotten many. And that's what's exposed them here in the second half.
USC trying to extend the lead to 17 here. 2nd and 9. Darnold in trouble. Just gets rid of it. Okay, he's in the pocket. There's no receiver in the area. Obviously get back through the line of scrimmage. Incomplete 3rd and 9. Play of the game right here for Cal's D.
And Cal's D came up big a second ago, bringing some pressure, making sure that Sam Darnold didn't have all day to diagnose what they're doing in the back end. Huge play. Have to think they're going to try to force the issue again by bringing a little bit of pressure off the edges.
And they run the ball with Carr, and he's got the first down, falling forward right at the line to gain at the 23-yard line.
Football is a simple game. It's all about numbers. And if you look at the numbers that the Cal defense had on the right side of the center, there was nobody home. Nothing but green grass. USC converted on 3rd and long a little while ago in the run game. Cal didn't make the adjustment. SC gets another fresh set.
Carr wrestled to the ground by James Looney. No gain, maybe a loss of 1. Again, Cal thinking, all right, can we hold them to 3, get the ball back with 7 or 8 minutes left, knowing you got to score 2 touchdowns. Obviously, if USC gets a touchdown here, this one's pretty much over. See what Tim DeRuyter, head coach at Fresno State, and he was the D coordinator at Texas A&M, and Von Miller was there. What does he dial up here? Empty set, Darnold to throw. And it's pulled in. A lot of running room for Burnett. He gets upended, but inside the 5-yard line where it will be 1st and goal for the Trojans.
Burnett hasn't had a ton of opportunities today. They've targeted him 14 times. But he just now brings in his 9th reception. Hasn't had a ton of opportunities in space. Most of his yards haven't really come after the catch. That time he finds some green grass and you see his explosiveness.
Darnold on the rollout, wide open Burnett, easy touchdown USC. What a 4th quarter for the Trojans. Receiving touchdown this season for Deontay Burnett. Closing in on 500 receiving yards already for the season. This is week 4. Nine catches, 76 yards at a touchdown for Burnett. And it's 30-13 USC.
Do these Trojans know how to finish or what? The easy interception. And then Sam Darnold and company go right down the field.
USC up on Cal now 30-13, scoring the last 17 points. Trojans have a short week. They have Washington State Friday night on ESPN. Cal has to go to Oregon next. Boy, Cal's got a really tough schedule. They got to go to Cal, Washington. They have Washington State. They have to go to UCLA. USC schedule's interesting. Their last regular season game is November 18th against UCLA. They don't play Washington and they don't play Oregon. Davis upended at the 25-yard line.
So many mistakes made by this Cal team, but you have to give USC credit. They've dominated this period so far.
Here's Laird, and he's still going. Pushing the pile up to the 45. I just love, though, how USC, that first drive looked a lot different than every other drive we've seen since in terms of just what they're trying to accomplish offensively.
Yeah, and Sam Darnold, too, is starting to find his rhythm. You see him getting the ball out of his hands, throwing it accurately, and making good decisions in the second half.
Cal in SC territory. That pass deflected and incomplete. Like it hit a helmet or a shoulder pad there. John Houston was trying to cover big Malik McMorris.
I'm telling you, man, I've watched this USC defense, and they disrupt so many passes at the line of scrimmage with tipped balls, and a lot of that is Uchenna Nwosu, number 42, who does a great job, but man, they're active up front.
Bowers, wow, how did he get that pass in there? Over the outstretched arm of Nwosu, who we talked about is so good at reading the quarterback, and into the arms of Jordan Vesey for 17 yards.
That ball had eyes right around a defender. Held up. It's not often you see a little back shoulder throw on a dig route.
Laird is brought down to the 30, and if that's the case, he's handled it pretty darn well.
It's a heck of a throw from Ross Bowers. I'm telling you, man, this kid will not give up. Regardless of what the score is, this quarterback, number 3, he's a grinder, man. Darnold. And they're dissecting, watching, probably overanalyzing in some cases, his play down in, down out.
You got to remember too, guys, that the first 3 weeks of the season last year, I could make a fair argument, and I'll debate anybody, that Sam Darnold's presence not only saved SC's locker room, but the criticism was heavy on Clay Helton at the time too. I mean, he saved his coach and that staff. So there's a lot to be said for that a year ago.
A lot of people wondered why he wasn't playing week 1 last year. Pass knocked away on 3rd and 5. And Langley will be 4th down.
It's going to be interesting to watch him with his supporting cast, because if you look at the talent that he has on offense, yeah, Ronald Jones, he's an elite player. Stephen Carr is really good, but is he an elite back yet? Probably not yet to that point. Deontay Burnett is outstanding. The rest of their wide receivers, I think they got to grow a lot, and the offensive line hasn't been nearly as consistent. He elevates the play of everyone else around him, but he hasn't been able to shoulder the load as much as we anticipated to this point.
Bowers hit another interception. That was on 4th down. It's picked off by Chris Hawkins, and SC will take over again at the 15-yard line. I mean, the line is not going to look good at all, obviously, for Bowers, but for 3 quarters, he played extremely well. And this was a test for SC, no doubt. Cal was unbeaten. Cal has 2 quality wins at North Carolina and against Ole Miss, but their biggest test is coming on a short week. Friday night, having to go to Pullman to play Washington State.
Certainly their biggest test to this point. Short week. We've seen crazy things happen during the week in the Pac-12 on those late kicks. Remember, Arizona just a few years ago beat Oregon. We've seen USC in some cases lose games like that. It's difficult to go on the road in a short week, and to face a top 25 opponent is no easy task.
Especially in Pullman.
There's no Washington, there's no Oregon on the schedule. Carr to the 20-yard line, but Utah, tough team. That game is in LA. They have to play their rivals in UCLA, and they still have to play at Notre Dame. We don't know just yet how good Notre Dame is.
We can find out tonight. You mentioned the Big Ten. Michigan State was a team you didn't mention. They're 2-0, and they're coming off a week in which they had a bye. So who knows what to expect from Michigan State. It's a program that has been perennially pretty successful. Big time down year last year. Mark D'Antonio, though, you have to think they're going to bounce back. So we'll find out about the Irish tonight when they go on the road again.
Carr dragged down.
I didn't think Vanderbilt had anywhere near the explosiveness on offense necessary to test Alabama. Alabama's toughest test is still a few weeks away, although Ole Miss could give them a bit of a test next week.
I think Bama's salty right now, guys, because they don't like people telling them that they're not as advertised. I think they got a little bit of a renewed edge.
Carr loses about 5 yards there. Let's take a look at what Cal has coming up. This is going to be the first loss of the season for the Bears. They have to go to Oregon, they have to go to Washington, finish the year at Stanford, at UCLA. I mean, they got one of the toughest schedules. I know North Carolina, who they beat week 1, is not as good as it was last year, but still, to go on the road to your first game, play basically at 9 a.m., so it was a noon Eastern kick, win on the road in the ACC. It's something Cal didn't do before, but Justin Wilcox has changed the culture already. Here's Wharton on the return for Cal. Steps out near the 40-yard line of a late hit. Boy, this stage of the game, you're up 17. Dumb penalty. And all the stuff we've been talking about Darnold, the most interesting thing still to me about him is his parents. And we, both our producer Ryan Ryder and I were talking to her this week, Chris, who is a phys ed teacher at the middle school that Sam attended. And he told us that he wanted to be in her class because he thought that, he, to his friends, might seem like he's getting special treatment. She said, my story's a little different. He's just so darn competitive, and he knows that I'm competitive too, and I want the best out of him. They all still work out together. They go to the gym at the school. Chris, her husband, Sam, and Sam's sister, and they all still work out together.
It's amazing. I'm just so impressed with his intangibles too, though. I mean, we can talk all day long.
Yeah, that's a backwards pass.
That's a backwards pass.
That's live.
Well, we can talk all day long about his physical attributes and who he compares to in the NFL, but I love his personality, because right now on the sideline, you see him, he's about as relaxed as you can possibly be. Very California cool. But as soon as he steps between those white lines, he's a completely different person. Yeah, still very under control, not overwhelmingly emotional, but that competitiveness is on display every single snap. And I think that is one of his best attributes, is just the type of fire that he has deep within himself.
Bowers throws complete. Noah inside the 35-yard line and tackled at the 25.
You're talking about traits there in Sam Darnold, Greg, that can't be coached. I think that's what stands out so much about what he means to his teammates, how they respond to him, the sense that they get once he steps on the field. All of those things, they can't be coached in a film room or on a board. It's not how it works, and that's what makes those guys special.
Bowers throws it away outside the pocket. By the way, TCU beat Oklahoma State. That is a final score, guys. We just saw the Cowboys last week. They looked all world.
That's unbelievable, isn't it? In Stillwater.
Yeah.
Big 12 is just such a different animal. The teams are so crafted to compete so well against each other. So you see Oklahoma State go on the road to Pitt, where there's not a favorable matchup on the field for Pitt, and they absolutely destroy them. When they come back to play against a team that's built to stop them, they look a little more human.
Noah can't catch up to that one. Incomplete. And Oklahoma obviously looks great right now. They've got the longest win streak in college football, 13 straight. USC will tie them for the moment with a win today. It'll be 13 consecutive wins for the Trojans. Going back to Darnold's first start, week 4 last year when USC lost.
How about the quarterbacks in college football this year? We've already talked at length about Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, the reigning Heisman Trophy winner, Lamar Jackson, Mason Rudolph, who clearly didn't have as good a day today as he has to this point. There is some really good quarterback play right now in college football. It's fun to watch.
Well, Greg, you talk about the Big 12, though, and how those teams, and you're right, those teams are so geared and conditioned to compete against each other. But is anybody good enough on defense in that conference to stop one another? I think that's going to be something you got to pay close attention to as this season unfolds and you start getting closer to the college football playoff rankings and the value placed on defensive personnel and defensive front personnel. Is there somebody that can come out of that conference that can stack up on that side of the ball?
Well, that extra game certainly will help their cause, because you know one of the major conferences obviously is going to get left out of the college football playoff. Bauer's pass caught for a first down inside the 10 by Jordan Vesey. Tonight on ABC, Big Ten battle. Penn State, number 4 at Iowa. It's happened before in Iowa City, where the Hawkeyes have pulled the upset at night. Kickoff 7:30 on ABC. You can check it out on the ESPN app. Saquon Barkley and company. So does it happen tonight? Does Iowa get Penn State as that pass is caught for a touchdown by Vesey? With a minute 53 to go.
Good answer from Cal right there. Give him some momentum. Give him something to feel good about. Obviously, the fourth quarter has not gone as planned. But you have to give Cal credit for bouncing back. Now, when Ross Bowers thinks back to this game, the last thing he's going to remember is throwing a touchdown pass. Not the interceptions that he's had, all 3 of them, here in the second half.
And Anderson, who missed that 29-yard field goal at the start of the second half. That, who knows if things are different. He makes that. He got that point after.
This game is not over just yet. But a recovered onside kick attempt by the Trojans could seal the deal.
Yeah, I mean, they got to get basically 2 recovered onside kicks, no timeouts, down 10. As this one's going to go out of bounds, so USC will take over. And that'll pretty much do it. One more snap. This game is over. Cut their mics. Final seconds here in Berkeley as USC comes from behind. Granted, they're down 10-3 in the first half, but still came from behind. Sam Darnold finishes the day with 2 touchdown passes, the 1 interception. And the Trojans score 17 points in the fourth quarter. They get 6 takeaways. And they beat previously unbeaten Cal 30-20. So for Greg McElroy, Tom Luganbill, I'm Dave Pash. USC improves to 4-0, a short week. Wazoo Friday night on ESPN. Right now back to Kevin, Matt, and Booger in the studio.